Well, hey ho, howdy, hey, early birds. Welcome. It's a brand new week filled with energy, laughter, and of course, hey, delicious breakfast delights for every single person who's tuned in right now for the Wake Up Nigeria show.
Yes, welcome to the most satisfying show.
Yum, yum.
Yes, to kickstart your day. We're here to bring you a burst of morning sunshine coupled with a sizzle of excitement. You know
bet.
what it is, right?
That's what you guys get. It's time to turn that breakfast routine into a breakfast extravaganza. Yay! Yay. We're the only ones that's celebrating here, but we know you're celebrating with us, so thank you very much. On this show today, we'll whisk you away into a tantalizing world of breakfast with a dash of creativity and a punch of adventure.
All this talk about breakfast. We've got something special in store for everyone, as we believe breakfast, that word again, is more than just a meal. Shortly, we'll be dishing out a buffet of exciting segments, and you just make sure you start your day right. Yeah.
Yep. Put your right foot forward. Okay, sorry. I'm joking.
No, step out. Keep going.
In any case, how was your weekend? Did we get to hear about it? What did you do?
Yeah,
Anything
it was good. I was actually at work as always. You know where it is.
were here on
102.3
Saturday?
Max FM. I was here on Saturday, 10 a.m. to noon.
Which is funny.
And then, of course, yesterday evening, Sunday evening, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So basically, that usually takes up most of my weekend.
I made it here on Saturday. I didn't know you were around. I'd have popped in. But
What time?
I was here at about 10, 11, up
Can
until
you
noon.
imagine?
Yeah. I came over with my daughter, actually. So
Did you come with your wife as well?
No, it was just I and her. I promised her the
okay.
entire day together. So I had to work, had to write some scripts. I couldn't have done that at home. Came right over, and she just, while she rode her bicycle outside.
You know what I'm suspecting? Mazino's transformer probably
No.
And so
Sometimes.
he thought about the cost of fuel. You know the way Sabinos used to do. He thought about the cost of fuel. And I thought about, there's always light in the office. Let me make my way down.
Sometimes the change of environment is good for you and your family.
Right.
And that's actually what we did. Thank you very much. We also saved up on some fuel while at it. In any case, an exciting 2 hours of pure entertainment coming your way. It begins right now, so grab your cup of, preferred beverage, whatever it might be. Sit back, hold tight, and enjoy. My name is Mazino Appeal.
And my name is Mary Bashua Alimi. Now remember, you can use the hashtag WakeupNigeria on TVC across all social media platforms to be a part of the best breakfast show on Nigerian television. You know what it is, right?
And of course, know that you can see us absolutely from anywhere if you have the app on your phones. If you haven't downloaded it, rush over now. TVC is what to look for. It's an Apple and iOS.
Nice.
Oh, sorry. iOS and Google Play Store.
We understand. Don't worry. We get it. You can also watch us on GOTV channel 16. Sometimes I want to say 27. 16 now, okay? And on UHF channel 49, okay?
Yeah. If you aren't following us, please do so already. It's a Monday, so get a head start. We are at TVC Connect across all our social media platforms.
That's right, yes.
All right, so for what we have lined up for today, please do tell them what's coming up.
Okay. We begin with the world of technology, okay? And we've got you covered with the latest innovations on tech updates.
Having motivation and author, transformational coach, and digital media entrepreneur Bright UK will be joining us to discuss recalibrating for a better second half. Stick around for that one because, hey, we all need this. It's the half of the year already. What you been up to?
For a musical performance, we have one of the top saxophonists in Nigeria, Ajiboye Moses Oladimeji, popularly called Mighty Boye Sax. Well, we can't wait for his performance. We are really looking forward to it.
And for SME, we have Maninheels of Maninheels Art, a dance production company which primarily began with the creative art of dancing, not just dance, but dancing in heels. Yes, you heard that right. Now, the brand started by promoting female empowerment through the use of dancing in heels to exude confidence in women's sensuality and also creative expression. And you're welcome. Monday edition, like we said from before, it's going to be a grand day. My OCD kicked in, so I like to have, you can have that one on the other side. Now I feel better. Yeah, now we can start. Yes, welcome. Wake Up Nigeria. We were talking about your weekend and how fantastic it was.
Yeah.
And over the weekend, it came out again that Nigerians are attic. So we got the Guinness Book of World Record. I was just tear it. Let's finish it. Let's just be only Nigerians that are in there. Apparently, a lady in, I can't remember the state, she came out to also have her own cook-a-thon. and it's going to be 150 hours.
You know what's funny?
What?
Our last guest today also won a Guinness World Record.
Oh, really?
In dance years
Okay.
ago.
It's part of the people tearing the book.
No, he taught it a long time ago. He's not following the fad now.
Yeah, and then there is a masseuse who's also going for, I think, about over 100 hours in her endeavor to break a record.
Please, where? I want to go.
I'm wondering...
I want to go.
Is it-
I want to go.
What's going on, Nigeria? Why is it that once somebody does something, everybody kind of like jumps on the bandwagon?
But that is Nigeria for you. Whether you have money or not, because your friend or someone you know did a big wedding, you too must do big wedding. Even if you can't afford it to, because your friend's children are attending a particular school, you let your children suffer embarrassment of you not being able to pay their tuition just because you want to keep up with the Joneses. It's a Nigerian thing.
Well, hey.
Unfortunately.
Listen, I hope that they put causes to these so that it becomes much more relevant. But
No, it's normal. All over the world, people are always trying for the record. I actually think it's a good way
it's a good thing, yeah, don't get me wrong. But if you had a cause, it will actually make it more tangible. Let me put it that way. Let's do something
because
for
it's
cancer,
to
do
better
something
their
for
lives and their
something.
pockets. And
Yeah, I know, but then it's becoming a bit too watered down when
Joe,
everybody jumps into the well.
No,
you
Joe.
know.
Please, let's do Guinness World Record of longest breakfast show. The breakfast show that did not end. So we'll do it for like 2 weeks.
That's a good
We'll
idea.
just keep up with the breakfast show. Yeah.
I like it. I like it, but the producers and directors are cussing at us.
No. We will do the longest TV show. So we'll go from breakfast to lunch.
Well, you people calm down.
Thank you for staying tuned. It is time for the news update on Wake Up Nigeria. I am Mary Bashua Alimi. Troops of Operation Hadarin Daji have killed a notorious bandit, Kingpin Dogo Gudali, and some of his gang members operating in the region. They were killed in Gwashi district of Bukuyum local area during the troops' clearance operation in Gando Forest. Dogo Gudali and his gang have been terrorizing communities in Anka, Bukuyum, and Gumi local government areas in Zamfara and parts of Sokoto and Kebbi states. Residents who were mostly victims of his activities have celebrated the killing of the bandit leader and his fighters. The news of their death is coming few days after another notorious bandit kingpin, Bello Turji, voluntarily released 20 of his hostages. According to some of the freed hostages, the development was as a result of the ongoing reconciliation between the bandit leader and some government officials. Moving on, an appeal has gone to Nigerians to exercise more patience with the president as he implements policies which are aimed at bringing about positive change to the country's current situation. A cross-section of stalwarts of the All Progressives Congress in Oyo State made the appeal while speaking at a political function held in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. The party leaders reassured Nigerians about the country being in capable hands, describing the residents' decision as bold steps.
For the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we will have a new Nigeria. Amen. All what we need from you is your prayer. Just give us time. Be patient with Nigeria. Be patient with the leadership of Nigeria. I am sure we will all have cause to rejoice at the end of the day. God
plead with them to be patient. We knew it would be like this. I mean, it's just like when you have a child that you need to put POP for corrective surgery. It's going to be painful. But once you remove the cast, the child is going to be okay.
We will soon be realizing the effect of the policies that the present president is making. So I'm still appealing that patience is the father of everything.
That makes me wonder the, weightiest stuff you've ever carried.
You want another Guinness Book of World Record?
No. Mike is more likely to win it than you. What can you carry?
I'm not.
Mike, don't you carry weights?
You lift now?
No,
You don't lift weights.
Do I look like
You
someone
used
that
to.
lifts?
You had some Instagram
see, I was even gunning
posts
for
and
you.
everything
No,
about
go on for yourself.
Me, no. I know they deceive myself.
All right, ladies, or lady and gentlemen, what's up and about? Let's have this conversation. Now, have you guys seen, there's a new Netflix thingamajig on the streaming line, and my daughter came to me on Saturday morning and asked me if I had seen it. It's an animation. Normally, she'd ask for permission to see whatever it was, and then she'd see it. Only in this case, she had asked my wife. My wife had taken a glance at it. Thought it was okay, wholesome. Very fantastic storyline, great animations about a monster and a village and how people can be misunderstood.
Okay.
So she let her see it. But then she came to me in the morning and she said, Daddy, have you seen this? I'm like, no, I haven't. I'm going to check it out. What happened? She's like, there's something at the end I don't think I liked, and I think you should check it out. So I had to see the entire movie. I didn't let her tell me. I had to see it myself. When I saw it, there was an agenda that was being pushed, and I wasn't very happy about it, about the fact that it's kind of like one of those things that's forced into people's consciousness, especially kids at this stage. And I was offended, and I asked my daughter where she heard about it. She said she heard about it in school. Now, we've had this conversation before. Apparently, they thought it was a good idea to have them see this movie, and then, you know, this is what happened. Now, I'm not biased about people's preferences. You can have your preference in all. But where people physically try to push their agenda in your face, especially using your kids as conduits, that's where I get offended. And it's something that has become more and more repeated in the past, especially using the media as its vehicle. Not just the media as its vehicle, but the fact that they are targeting children. And we have so many instances in the past less than a year. We've had 3 instances of these making its way into animations that children are supposed to be consuming. I'm going to come back to the school bit for a minute, but let me hear what you think and what suggestions you have for families.
The school bit you mentioned also reminded me of something that is happening in a particular country now, where you as a parent, you don't get to determine the gender of your children. As a matter of fact, it is your teacher, your child's teacher, that determines your child's gender. So if you say, oh, I gave birth to a boy, it's your child's teacher that knows better.
Nope, it's a girl. Nope, it's a boy. He's got a thing. He's like, nope. That's just the...
You know something, people have been skirting around this LGBTQ issue because of the uproar about it and how you get attacked for it. But the reality is, I believe it's about time people start talking really talking about it. Because, one, you don't force your beliefs down my throat. It's become that. I have friends, some of whom are LGBTQ, and I have no issues with them. They are normal human beings. They are cool people. But you will never hear them saying, this is what I am. This is... You just know because you know. Exactly. Or maybe because you guys go out and you see them with their partner and also you know. But for you to not only try to make it like everybody must accept it, 1, 2, the fact that you are now making children feel like they should be gender fluid, you can determine whatever gender they are, I find it worrisome. There was a time when boys and girls were just boys or just girls. There was no, there was no gender for any child.
Mike is a little silent.
No, not really. I was waiting for her to get done.
Yeah, okay, you go ahead.
So a few things here. Are they forcing it down the throats? I know that in some places it is possible, but representation in film, as it were, is a representation of society. And that is what society is now. So in such a way that I think the earlier kids know that this happens and you direct them where you want them to be. I mean, it's almost like virtues and vices. There are vices. They would need to know about it for them to maintain any virtue you want them to uphold or to grow up with. So it is what the world has become now, and it will even get worse, sadly so. Because it happens. So it's more or less like this is there. For me, in schools, for me, I feel like information, they should know that this kind of thing, but maybe if depends on how you want to change, to raise them, it's unnatural.
Let me jump in there, yeah? So
you understand?
Let me jump in there. So I see what you're saying, and I'm all with it 100%. But this is what I'm saying. If you're going to expose children, or people generally, not just children, to these kinds of material or agendas, maybe right at the start, there must be some sort of alert.
Disclaimer or something.
Disclaimer. But you don't let me find out at the end of the movie. What all that progression was about.
To what Mike was saying.
You know, so I'm saying, just like you have your PG-13 ratings at
the
movie, can we get a plus in there somewhere?
So that sometimes they actually put it.
You know, well, in this case, there was none.
Except that this one there is none.
It's not put
I've
as,
seen a movie
regarding
on Prime Video that had LGBTQ as part of it. Okay. So for one movie, I saw religion. Then for one movie, I actually saw LGBTQ written on it. They warned people about it in case you're not down that road and all. But I wanted to make reference to what he said about the fact that it's not being pushed down the throats. As a child, you're not supposed to really know much about sex, right? until you get to a particular age. You're supposed to know about your body, be aware of your body, right? So doing this to children is the same thing as you just as well making children watch pornography, my opinion. Because a child needs to get to a particular age to decide. I always make reference to myself. The fact that if I knew about transgender as a child, I'll probably be a man now. I've never hidden that fact because I really wanted to be a man.
Well, that's going to trend very soon.
Oh, please. But really, I wanted so much to be a man. If I knew about transgender as a child, I wouldn't be the woman I am today, and I have no regrets being a woman now. I feel like children need to get to a particular age before they are exposed to certain things, because as a child, you're easily influenced. That's why some ads are not allowed to be shown
And
to
that
children.
responsibility should actually lie with the parents. I will not let somebody else, an outside
Because
influence, help me
when
help
I
me
say
doubt that
you have options not to see these things. They don't say you must see them. So which is why I say the pushing down the throat doesn't hold, because you have an option. Like you said, if you had seen that movie, or if they play those kind of movies in schools, exactly. And if you have a problem with the school playing that movie, then get your child out of that school if they uphold those kind of beliefs. So the point is that you do have an option.
Every cartoon your child watches before your child watches
school,
it.
so I said I want to get
he does that. He does that.
I started by saying that. So
he does that.
Going back to the school issue.
Yeah, you watch everything.
I think that teachers or guardians or school teachers, this movie was perhaps presented to them after somebody had seen the first 15 minutes of it. Oh, very nice. And it was that captivating. It was an excellent storyline, fantastic animation. In fact, I think it's one of the best. However, this agenda was saved. It kind of like built until the very end. You would not see it. It's not in your face at the beginning, but at the end, it was very obvious. It wasn't even hidden. It was, boom, there it is in your face. You weren't warned about it. So regarding the schools, hang on a second, I'm coming back. Regarding the schools, I would expect that schools, first of all, I didn't pay tuition for my kid to go to school and see movies that she would see at home in any case. So why don't you stick to what it's supposed to be at school? Learning. Let them come there and learn. They'll have free time or fun time when they get home. I don't want them being the ones to decide what my kid sees.
Exactly.
Let me be the one to make that decision myself. So I'm going to take that up with the school, definitely. In fact, I'm going to write an entire episode and send it over to the proprietor. So get ready for me.
Maz, the bottom line is this. Almost every content you watch now, cartoons in particular, if you look closely, especially as an adult, you would see...
So what can we as parents do?
You would see something in it.
What
And that's what I'm trying to tell you, because I'm not trying to defend the school, but I'm just trying to tell you that that is how it is now. There's a particular cartoon, Loud House. Loud House is a very cool cartoon. Until you realize that the guy's best friend, his parents are actually gay. But you wouldn't know until you, as a parent, you pay attention. You're like, why is it two men coming up as this boy's parents? And it's even a colored boy. Let me use that. That is the boy. So it wasn't even put as maybe some Caucasian child's parents. No. To make it seem even more acceptable to the blacks, so to speak, to the Africans.
So when you mentioned talking to them, censoring, we've had movies. Remember Eternals? It was in Saudi Arabia. They were told if they don't take out a particular scene, the movie will not air. And I don't know how that went out, but they laid down their rules. They laid out the gauntlet that, look, if you don't take out these scenes in this particular movie, we've even seen it in the...
We've got a national
census board that have done that in some movies and say, if we don't want the movie, but we can accept the movie if you take out this scene.
I don't think Buzz Lightyear was played here in Nigeria.
Yeah, some of them have decided to, some of them have decided not to. You know, my point is, whatever your beliefs are, this censorship is the way to go.
Yes,
that's how you.
So
you watch it, you censor it based on your beliefs. I mean, it's not only even for this issue. There's issue of religion.
Take that further, Mike. I believe that there should be a button somewhere there that can help you censor. If you still want to see the content, fine. But if you play it from this.
Okay, that's for home viewing.
I'm for home viewing and streaming services now for Africa. If I want to protect a person or a kid against certain things, if I see it on this button or that button, this is the full movie, this button shows you a censored version, perhaps that will help.
Look,
but I'm with you on that school thing.
For me, the most important thing, though, is we have PG, we have rated 13, we have rated 18. We should have LGBTQ. Boldly stated, so that
too many letters, just put the plus,
people
who
do not believe in stuff like that also have the option of not watching it. Everyone has a right to what they want to view.
Very true.
Let's respect it.
What do you think? Use the hashtag. It is Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. Would like to know what your opinion is on this matter. We've got more coming your way. Do stay tuned.
All right, welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Let's take a look at some of the headlines in the dailies this morning. I'll kick off with The Punch. And we have here governors battle cash crunch. Quite the kind of headline we want to see. Not just the battle, we want to see the effects of the battle as it plays out. Delta, Imo, Cross River, Oyo lead as states borrow 130 billion naira in 3 months. Okay, 17 shortfall hits states internally generated revenue, and debts rise to 5.5 trillion naira. Those were not the annotations or the riders I was expecting on that headline. There are different ways to battle the cash crunch. I think for me, empowering the citizens is the major number one. But it has gone that way. The point is we expect the economy to be revived, and teething times, you know. Hopefully we push up all through this. And the picture story there is that of gridlock. Okay, this gridlock is on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway on Sunday. Sunday, I felt Sunday, okay, it was Saturday night. So at Saturday morning, I even had to be here at the office, and then there are times when my route will take me past areas that connects to Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. And it was quite good Saturday morning. But then from the evening, there were complaints about how serious the traffic was on a Brobdingnagian scale. It really went up, and there were a lot of complaints. And probably that, stretched into Sunday morning, because most of the time it's overnight with the trailers that are making their way out of Lagos. I feel like the agencies there, especially the Federal Roadworks and Maintenance Agency, and maybe the FRSC, LOMA also included, should maybe give us some sort of warnings or some sort of notices. Because what happens is that there are times when the road is closed for repairs, some parts of the road are closed, and then you have probably just one lane for the cars to pass. So if people know ahead of time that this kind of things are happening, or they get that notice in time, then maybe some people might not go out if it's not expedient for them to. So hopefully we can get such notices, because I don't think that kind of a notice was given out. And so by this morning, it's quite free. So probably by Sunday evening, it was opened up. It's quite free. But we know that the major cause of this particular gridlock is that they are working on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, and it might just be so for some time. Just underneath that one, car mourns as kidnappers kill RCCG pastor and 7 churchgoers rescued. Quite a sad one there. UTME top performer manipulated score and faces prosecution. Maybe we might talk about that one. As you know, I remember when we spoke about the cutoff mark being at 140, and then there was talk about allowing some of the candidates get into the hall with their phones and all of that. But I had heard about this story, and considering that if we look at the age of a child, under 18 might be a minor, we'll have to take a look at those who facilitated or who made sure or made it easy for that kind of thing to happen, because maybe a child like that might not be able to perpetrate such an action on his or her own. So, there has to be a lot looking at the venue, looking at those who in charge of the center where that particular exam was written. Okay, but let's just take one more headline there. Okay, NLC to meet Tinubu on 65-year retirement age. All of that on the front page of The Punch. And then over to The Nation. Investors now, quite a number of the headlines on the dailies this morning are business related. Investors 4.35 trillion naira gain in 1 month boosts economy. Someone's talking about how much Nigeria has saved so far from the removal of fuel subsidy in just a month. And it is quite a humongous sum there. So, yeah, debt toll of Nigerian pilgrims rises to 13. Banks collected 8.9 trillion naira deposits in 12 months. And there's something there about the ranking of banks and all of that. Okay, we can see here Chinese naval ships in Nigeria. 2 dead in U.S. mass shooting. That has been quite a recurrent theme in the U.S. in recent times. Rioters raid home of French mayor. Of course, you know about the riots happening over the past 4-5 days in France due to, of course, the accidental shooting of a 17-year-old by a police. It's been going on for a while now, and President Emmanuel Macron has even blamed this on video games. Yeah, he said because we have a younger demography of rioters. He said the number of them are below 17, 15, 14. And that might be understandable because it was a teenager was the one shot and killed. And so he blamed the violence and the riots on the streets of Paris on video games. That's talking about President, 45-year-old Emmanuel Macron. Okay, so let's just take one more headline there on The Nation. And the presidency rejects EU's 2023 poll report. Yeah, we saw that one. The talk is, of course, that the elections were fair and fair. That's talk coming from the Nigerian government, and that the EU should maybe just give some breathing space. That is what the report is all about. Over to the Vanguard here, revealed Tinubu's move against terrorism. This is now where we get into governance, and this is what we want to see. How does this play out? Quite a number of annotations underneath that particular headline. Comprehensive onslaught against terrorists and bandits begin. Okay? Security architecture set for review. The other one says rules of engagement to be determined by the nature of security threat. More shake-up imminent in the security services. President vows to stop crude oil theft. Economic policies to reflect contemporary realities. And then scores of captives released as farmers return to their farms in Northwest. Consultations in the political, economic, and security spheres continue. This is one headline that has the most annotations I have ever seen. Just about 7 or 8 of them there. All of that on the that headline. Above the headline, you see there the march to Nigeria's economic recovery. Yes, speaking about it, I mean, the other day I saw this article about a farmer who was transporting yam from Benue State to parts of the country. You know, due to terrorism, of course, we know that a number of the parts of these countries where they are being terrorized are farmers. We get our food from them. And so when you have these people on the road, I mean, it goes without saying that when the roads are not safe, it's going to make transporting of food hard. So yes, stamping out terrorism is a major pathway towards the recovery of the economy. That's quite a very big one there. All right, let's check out other headlines still on the Vanguard. And it has the same headline about the presidency rejecting the EU's report on 2023 elections. We've spoken about that much earlier. Let's see here. There's something on sports here. Eh? It says Mbappe wants £206 million to join any club. Whoa, Baba, you go stay for that PSG small. £206 million. That's a year. Oh. Ha. Okay. All right, let's look at some other headlines here. Fuel subsidy made e-vehicles unattractive in Nigeria. Well, there is a report. I told you that some few months back, Nigeria's first e-vehicle, that's electricity-powered vehicle, was unveiled in Abuja. So we're looking forward to much more of that. But it will quite take some time because charging points, can you travel with them and all of that? How can that work out? All right, let's just end on a light note, very light note here. That's Mr. and Mrs. Did you notice the small size of food served at the party? Have they removed subsidy from party refreshments too? And that's from Mrs. And Mr. says, OMG, I hope I have not sprayed the celebrants with the money meant for petrol. I love those cartoons. Growing up much younger, I would pick a paper from my dad, and the first thing I'll go to was for the graphic illustrations there, the cartoons. Okay? All right. Somebody, of course, that definitely would do that when he was much younger is Mazino. He might want to tell us about that while he's getting set for breakfast this morning.
I'll tell you something about this whole fuel subsidy and petrol thing. The fact is, yes, you have to consider how much you're spending on going out from inside your tank, and then you know how much is left. That's a fact. And tell you something, Mike. I and my wife finally decided this weekend, and we want to sell to you our V6 Toyota. We're hoping that you would be purchasing.
Only 6? It's V8 I want.
No, you have to start with V6, Oga.
No,
start with V6.
It's 8.
You know why we're doing this, yeah? We're actually selling so we can get a smaller car. We want a very small city-type car so we can save up on fuel.
Mazino, I am dreaming big.
Oga, let your big be think about fuel. And there's talks that it might be going even higher after marketers weren't able to purchase like they were supposed to, but they need aid. But in any case, welcome inside the kitchen, Natural. I love it when this guy is around. It's always so entertaining. And of course, always so delicious. Natural. What's going on here today? I see that we have a lot planned out, and I saw you chopping
It's
some
seafood,
stuff.
yeah. It's seafood, yeah. It's seal snail.
Oh, that's snail.
That's seal snail.
Oh,
That's
really?
some fresh fish and prawns. You know.
So what are we making?
It's my
exactly?
month, yeah. It's my birthday on
Oh.
July 20th. So
Real.
I think we should just start the
Real.
celebration.
So this is
yeah.
called what exactly?
This nature's seafood spaghetti.
Seafood spaghetti. I see we have our spaghetti here. Sorry, I always eat this thing raw. I see we have our spaghetti here. We've got our seafood elements here. There's fish, there's shrimp.
No,
there's-
that's a prawn.
That's prawn, huh?
Prawn, yeah.
Okay.
That's a prawn.
All right, prawn
We
there.
have the oyster sauce. the
Oyster
sesame
sauce,
oil, yeah.
Sesame oil, some
Tomato
ketchup,
paste.
and that
That's,
gooey thing.
that's English garlic. It's
English
just been
garlic and
mashed,
some
yeah.
spice. So this is going to take us how long to put together?
It's just in the next 30 minutes we're good.
Next 30 minutes. Okay, so you heard it. We'll let you guys know the process as it goes, as we already are starting this morning with our bell peppers. How much of that do we... This is all for color, isn't it?
Yeah, brings
Oh.
out and they are very, very nutritious.
Love it. Love the taste.
Health
Love the
benefits.
smell. Love it. Chef Natural here making it all spicy. You can smell it in the air already. Our seafood, natural seafood spaghetti is coming through. We have our spaghetti boiling in there already. And Chef Natural has put our seafood items on the fire. It's frying right now, yes? But before that, what he did was he made sure that some garlic was marinated into it. And now we're frying it straight up. Is there any seasoning in it now?
Yeah.
You put seasoning.
Yeah, the English garlic, the salt, the seasoning powder. Yeah.
What's this other bit here? I forgot to
That's
ask.
black pepper for
Black pepper, very well grounded black pepper, and everything is nicely frying very soon. I don't know where it's going to go. Let me not say. So
good.
Chef Natural is going to tell us exactly what's going to happen next. What's happening next, Chef?
Well, I'm trying to stir fry the protein separately.
Okay.
So once I'm done with the fish, I'm going to go ahead with the prawn.
Okay.
And this seal snail is always... It's
You
not
call
like
sea
the-
what now?
Snail.
Sea snail.
Yeah.
So it's different.
Yeah, it has a different feel. It's stronger.
Oh, okay.
It's always bigger.
Is it the kind that has the cover on it? It has
Yeah,
a
yeah,
bit of,
yeah,
you know, a foot
Yeah.
on the... Okay, so that's what it is. It looks very strangely different. It's
Yeah.
snail, but it looks like meat.
Yeah.
Actually
And
looks like
the feeling is different.
consistent meat. I would really love to taste that.
Sure.
So we're frying the fish first. Eventually, we're going to do something to our sea snail and also the...
So stir frying all of that.
We're stir frying everything, but
Yeah.
that one goes first.
Yeah. So once I make my sauce for the spaghetti, pour
Put it all together. Okay. All right, so we have our bell peppers and everything ready. Our onions are also cut. Everything is just on standby, and they're all going to come together very nicely in just about a bit. If you guys have been watching, this is only the second phase. You haven't missed anything out. Hopefully, everybody who's joining inside the second hour will also get a chance to know exactly how we've come here. But it's easy. It's easy. I mean, 30 minutes, you're done with this process, and you're eating already and out the house after breakfast. And don't you worry. Everything will be brought your way, and we'll let you know exactly how it goes. And, of course, you can always rerun this on YouTube. All you need to do is search for this morning's program, and you'd find this segment all on its own, and you can learn from start again how we've put all of this together. So that's as much as has been happening. We'll keep doing it, keep frying and boiling and everything, and we'll let you guys know exactly how it's going. In about a bit, we're going to be having our second hour, and of course, by then, maybe, just maybe, we might even be done before time. But stay tuned. Go no place. It's still Wake Up Nigeria's Mazzino inside the kitchen with Chef Natural here. And of course, it's going to be a great next 1 hour. Let's do it together. Welcome back.
Yes, you know, each morning we promise you a breakfast show like no other, filled with laughter, happiness, surprises, and of course, scrumptious breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, breakfast options that will leave your stomach rumbling with anticipation, you know. The aroma in this place.
Yeah,
Hey.
it is fantastic. Once you walk in, it envelopes every single thing. It's beautiful. Yes, welcome back. It's the second hour here. Everything beautiful for a Monday is what we bring to you. Holiday is over.
For all holidays till October 1.
Indeed. So don't look for any other. You had quite the holiday. The Friday was silent last week.
Very silent.
Friday was very silent. So
Several people, even the HR themselves, called themselves to say hello.
Exactly.
I think there's a headache.
do we still work? Yeah. Well, you guys are back from it, and we're setting things right for you guys to get back into work, and that's why we present ourselves to you bright and early every single morning at 7 a.m. just so you put that right.
Yes, let's dive into this incredible week together. one delicious bite at a time.
Breakfast reference today is all over the place. Every single time you say something, it's about breakfast now, isn't it, Mary?
Yeah, I know, right?
But it's fantastic. Hope you're enjoying yours as well, or perhaps maybe trying out what it is we're putting inside of the kitchen together with Chef Natural. All right, now, hold on tight for the next 45 minutes because, hey, it's going to be a big one. My name is Mazino Appeal.
And my name is Mary Bashua Alimi. Yes, you can...
Yeah, tell them.
You can use the hashtag WakeupNigeria on TVC across all social media platforms just so you can be a part of the best breakfast show on Nigerian television.
I want to remind you guys to also make sure that you're following us across all the social media platforms. Please make sure you do that at TVC Connect and download the app already, will you? You can leave for work, you know. Just make sure you have the app, iOS, Google Play Store. You can see us anywhere you're going.
Yeah, that way you don't miss a minute. You can also watch us on GOTV channel 16 and on UHF channel 49. Yeah, don't drive and watch it. Very important.
No. Or you can listen. It's got fantastic voices.
Yeah.
Forget radio. Forget radio. Forget radio. You didn't get it, did you? Listen, let's tell you what's left on the show here today. Shortly, we will be having motivation and author, transformational coach, and digital media entrepreneur Bright UK. He'll be joining us to discuss recalibrating for a better second half of the year. Stick around for the share with as he shares with us the tips that we need for the rest of 2023.
For a musical performance, we have one of the top saxophonists in Nigeria, Ajiboye Moses Oladimeji, popularly called Mighty Boye Sax, has featured on major projects including Obara, nominated for Best Musical Sound Movie in AMVCA.
Coming up, for SME, we have Maninheels of Maninheels Arts, a dance production company which primarily began with the creative art of dancing, not just dancing, by the way, but also dancing in heels. The brand started by promoting female empowerment through the use of dancing in heels to exude confidence in women, sensuality, and also creative expression. So, Mike, I wasn't kidding when I said we're selling the V6. So you mentioned something while you were doing the paper review, as cars are no longer appealing to people. People are instead choosing to either stay at home or I don't know what else, what other alternative is. I was in Benin Republic in April and I realized that families actually depend on motorcycles to get around. Scooters, perhaps. It's much more efficient for them. Now, here's the thing, what I observed. They also had electric scooters as well. It was very popular for Benin Republic. And I'm like, would this work in Nigeria? There's scooters. I mean, if you're going from here to work, most people's work is like 30 kilometers on the average away from where most people live. So maybe that would suffice. I don't know. But about selling the car, yeah, my wife loves her car, but we have to sell now because of the resultant effect of how much fuel it takes us to move from one place to another. And very often she's either driving alone or just with my daughter. Can't we do that in a tiny car?
Yeah.
Well, it's actually a very good idea. In fact, I think it's a wise decision you guys took. The more people cut down on, maybe if you have like 2-3 cars, you want to reduce them to just 1 or 2 if necessary and all, just so you can maximize whatever resources you have. I was listening to the news a couple of days back and there were talks about the fact that petrol sales have actually gone down.
Yeah, nobody's buying. It's very expensive.
Dipped because nobody wants
demand will,
Demand
so
has,
funny thing is, that is what we need because demand is going to cause the market forces to bring the price lower. If it's not in demand, let me try and compete with somebody else. I'll bring my price 2 naira less.
The Benin you spoke of, fuel prices have gone up since this incident.
Of course.
And besides that, there's this talk about NERC approving the electricity
tariff.
If electricity subsidy is removed, maybe we are the ones that will be riding the electric bikes soon.
Maybe we should just resort to bicycles.
I wasn't too conversant with the electricity bill or the subsidy that was involved that much. Also, I'm still trying to get more information about it. You know, but the point is, I think that if the subsidy is taken off and we have constant electricity, you know, we'll find a way around it.
Yes.
Businesses, some of the biggest businesses in Nigeria left for that sole reason. There are others that there were other concomitant effects, but I know a number of big businesses that was the sole reason electricity.
Yes.
Yeah.
If there's electricity, I'm very sure many people will cope.
So if we can sort that out.
Well, how you're coping,
manage
please
it
let us
better.
know. Would love to know. Use the hashtag WakeupNigeria on TVC.
All right, it's time for motivation. Just before we get into motivation, Mary Mazino, Rita Johnson said I should say hi to all of you. She's watching. Just sent me messages. Hey, say hi to all of them. You guys are doing great. You're the best. You're the best. Minus Mary. Mary, you're not the best. All right, just kidding, yeah. But yeah, thank you so much, Rita Johnson, for watching. Now it's time for motivation, and we have transformational coach, digital media entrepreneur, Bright. Now we'll be talking about recalibrating for a better second half of the year. Now everybody's talking about how it's July, 6 months gone. I'm also talking about it also because I start thinking, what have I achieved this year? Well, you're the man to talk about it. How well can someone recalibrate, as it were, for the second half of the year?
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been interesting, quite interesting role of events. I mean, in the year 2023.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
Election year.
elections, unexpected increases here and there.
New administration and all of that.
New administration, yeah, fantastic. But the point here is every recalibration we will do, every review must begin with gratitude, right? Gratitude gives you a sense of, I might not be where I want to be yet, but I'm grateful for where I am.
What if where you are is a step back from where you were at the beginning of the year? How can somebody be grateful in such circumstances?
Well, the idea is to realize that starting from wherever you are, you can get to anywhere you want to get to in the world. You agree? That beginning from right here in this studio, you can get to anywhere you want to get to in the world. It might take you time, all right? It might take you more time than necessary, but you can still arrive at your destination. So the fact that you are still alive is what gives possibility.
So we can
for
start
things
with that, life,
actually,
because that's what everybody can relate
I mean, there is hope. A living dog is better than a dead lion. Every time, all right? And as long as there is hope, of course, people say hope is not a strategy, but indeed, where there is no hope, there is no need for strategy.
It's the beginning point. It's
the foundation of everything. All right, so we always have to begin with gratitude. The other side of gratitude is that gratitude is a magnifier.
Okay.
Right? Gratitude helps you to appreciate what you have so that it can appreciate.
Now, let me stop you there. How does one express gratitude? Is it by going on social media to post, I am grateful? Is it in your daily activities? How do you show? Or you're talking about expressing gratitude, right? Or being grateful. How exactly?
Grateful. Gratitude is a state of being.
Okay, it's a state of being.
State of being.
So you don't. So how do you express it? Does it need to be expressed? And how can it be expressed?
Well, yeah, you can celebrate it. You can do all of that. But the most important thing, honestly, is the effect it has on your sense of being.
Okay.
All right? I'm grateful for where I am. Gratitude is what makes you not compare yourself to others, not think the grass is greener
So it's more of an
on the other
inside
side.
job.
It's more of an internal stuff.
Rather than
right?
trying to,
Yeah,
go in
yeah.
about okay.
Yeah, because the grass is really not greener on the other side. It might appear greener, but it is more greenner where you cultivate
Where you
it.
water it.
Where you water it. It's just what it is. The other side of it, right, is that you have to be true to yourself. After being grateful, you have to be true. To yourself, be true. And why being true to yourself, you want to evaluate. What have I done right? What have I done wrong? What have been my biggest wins? What have been my biggest losses? What decisions have given me the best? What decisions have given me the worst? Has delivered the least? You want to major on the major and minor on the minor. All right? You want to ask yourself, regardless of the challenges, regardless of my losses, what lessons have I learned? These are the things that assure you that the hope you have in view will still be actualized, that the possibilities will remain possible. The fact that you are learning, it doesn't even matter how much losses you record, right? As long as you've learned your lessons, you can, leap over centimeters, meters, kilometers, miles. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand you.
Just by reason of the lessons, the wisdom that you have gained, all right? And, you know, one particular aspect, one aspect I'm particular about is when it has to do with cutting your losses. You know, it's easy to say, oh, this has delivered well, and you don't change a winning team. You know, but what about when certain things are not delivering anymore? And, and it's obvious. You know, I mean, take it, what economists will refer to as a sunk cost dilemma. Okay. Maybe there's been a project that you had so much expectations around, and then you've invested so much, and yet you have come to a point where you realize that this is a hopeless situation, right? It's not going to deliver on anything. Unfortunately, what people do is they are so emotionally attached to that, you know, investment that they forget the aspiration and start concentrating on recovering their losses. You know, that is why swindlers use that as a strategy. They tell you, there is, we are bringing the package, send so and so and so amount of money. You send so and so amount of money. They will tell you there is something that happened. We need more money. You know, and people just keep, you know, because
falling for this over and
falling
over
for
again.
all of that. All right. But generally, if you notice that certain things are not working anymore or are not delivering, at some point you should be able to tell yourself, this is hopeless and I need to cut this off.
You see, they say, you know, there's this thing, and I always say, there's always a caveat to everything. They say winners don't quit. There's some things that you need to quit to focus on the things that are working. Yeah.
Interestingly, yes. Someone said that sometimes the best way to win is to know when to quit.
You have to quit something.
Very interesting. Yes.
So when someone says winners don't quit, no. That thing is not.
Quitters win. Maybe winners don't quit them, but actually quitters win. You know, very interestingly. And then when you have to cut your losses, what are the things that you need to do, or how do you even go about it in the first place? You have to deal with the situation proactively. Proactively in the sense that you are doing due diligence, not waiting for the losses to grow and until you come to that point where you are finished. No, you don't wait for that to happen. You should constantly evaluate whatever you're doing to ensure that you can cut your losses short. Right? Secondly, you want to deal with it logically instead of dealing with it emotionally. Like I said, people just get caught up in, you know, trying to recover their losses or ensure that whatever they are doing delivers eventually, that at the end of the day, I mean, they have lost the 99 while, you know, chasing one. All right? So,
right. Yeah, Bright, okay, this is wonderful. I enjoy talking to you. I'm looking forward to having you much more this month. And this is something that might not just end once. Let's take it over the month and talk about how to make sure that 2023, the rest of 2023, will be the best. Thank you so much for coming.
Definitely.
All right.
Thank you too.
Okay. That's it. Hope you're able to pick something there also. You can cut off. For me, that one is a major one for you. Know when to quit. That's it for motivation. We'll take a time out now. Stay with us. We'll be back in a bit.
And you're welcome back. It's time for our final segment here. And today on SME, we have been joined by Maninheels, Michael, Mr. Michael of Maninheels Arts. It's a dance production company with which primarily began with the creative arts of dancing, not just the dance, but also the dance in heels. Now, the brand started by promoting female empowerment through the use of dancing in heels to exude confidence in women's sensuality and also creative arts. Mr. Michael is here with us today. You are welcome, man.
Thank you very much.
Good. I don't know. We can't get his heels, can we? If you see his heels, he came with the heels. So yeah,
this
is not even it.
This is not even his.
This is just one used for knockabout.
Exactly, knockabout. That's the right word.
You're welcome, Michael.
Thank you very much.
Let's talk about Maninheels Arts. I mean, first off, where did the idea come from, and why was it a thing? We've heard that it started as a means to empower women. But how did that come about? What was the birthing process of that like?
Okay, so at first, I usually get this just from friends about my dance style and how I move my body and stuff like that. So at that point, I didn't really understand what it was for me until when I started watching videos online where I found out that dance is more like a diverse kind of movement that doesn't restrict you to be in one type of form, be it masculine, be it feminine. You can actually dive into whatever you want to dive into. And so at that point, I started looking for what would make me different from every other dancer here in Nigeria, because I mean, the market is flooded with so many dancers.
A lot of dancers.
So I mean, for you to be spectacular and spotted, you just need to do something significant that can put you at the spotlight at the time when you needed it. So at that point, I just realized the only thing I could do at that time was to, so then, I think then it was me and yoga, for starters. From there, it became sensual dance, because I think I like anything erotic related. That's me. It might sound funny to some persons, but it's just my cue. So along the line, I discovered that my target market would be the ladies.
Okay.
Because at that point, I can't tell any bro to come to the studio and dance. Nobody will listen
But
to
eventually, did they?
Eventually, they never did, just the ladies.
Okay.
So at that point, I realized.
So
man,
you were a
just need to
guy,
tap into it.
you were teaching ladies how to dance sensually,
Exactly.
using expressions that are female, like very,
Exactly.
you know,
Very feminine,
expressive,
yes.
very feminine expressions. Very interesting. So you turned this into a business, and that's why you're on our SME segment. So it's something that actually earns you a living now.
Sure,
So
definitely.
people come to Dancing Hill Arts Studios. There's a studio for dance.
Oh, yeah, there
have
is
a-
actually.
And they pay you to teach them, or they just want to dance. Well, what exactly? How do you make money from this?
So, it works in different ways. I'll start with the brand itself. So, Official Maninheels is strictly for the heels. Maninheels production is now a diverse brand that can cater for not just heels, but now every other type of entertainment segments.
Okay.
So now for the heels aspect, I usually get strictly private bookings. Then a couple of years back then, it was like an open session for ladies to come in, but now it's just strictly bookings. And this
Private bookings, so
section,
people
yeah,
book
private-
you to,
yeah, exactly.
to dance at events.
Dance. No, to teach them.
To teach them
in,
how to.
in the studio at that time. So usually what we do is we charge per hour for these classes.
Okay.
So because it's a private session, the rates is usually
Quite
up.
steep, yeah.
Exactly. So that's how we make our money. But the major money comes from Maninheels production, where we take bigger gigs like from Hennessy, Moy.
You dance for brands,
exactly, for
with-
brands like
for,
that. Yeah.
for videos, music videos, that
Music
kind of thing.
videos, yeah, exactly.
And it's burgeoning, it's blowing, it's a big deal.
Well, if you know the market and you have the business perspective part of it.
Why is there all of a sudden a need for that kind of expression? Why are brands looking into hiring your services?
For starters, I mean, like I said earlier on, you just need to find a spark to your business. I mean, so many other persons can do the same thing I do, but your style matters more. Like, currently, I am running nightlifes as my major brand type of clientele that I work with. So this nightlife brands are actually looking out for anything that is related to sensual acts.
Anything that attracts people to their business.
Especially the men that comes to the club, because at the end of the day, they want to see something. They want to see a showcase.
Okay.
And of course, no man wants to see another man dancing on the stage, of course.
So your trainees
My trainees
are,
just
okay,
do the
very
magic.
interesting.
Exactly.
Okay, so if I wanted to perhaps maybe go into dancing as a man, would I have a clientele base? Would people want to hire me as a man? Because my madam would not let me be dancing with other women.
Okay.
I'm very stiff, by the way. That's going to be quite a
So in that aspect, I don't think there is a required clientele for it.
Okay.
You just need to know what you're looking out for, and if you get it right, boom, that's it. I
Wow.
mean, we have so many dancers on TikTok that are not trained professionally to dance, but at the end of it, they still found a way to pave their ways to the top. So, I mean, everybody can dance. It's just for you to figure out how you want to do it.
Everybody can dance. It's just some people just have records. And I'm going somewhere with this. Didn't you dance for a record one time?
Oh, yeah, a couple of years ago, I attempted to break the Guinness World Record, which I knew I did successfully, but due to some certain reasons, I didn't push further to get the certification.
How long did you dance for?
So I danced for 183 hours.
Wow.
It took like...
In heels?
Oh, no, not in heels.
Oh, not in heels. Oh, okay. Okay.
Influence.
Maybe if you do it in heels now, it'll get the attention.
I think I want to do it in heels now, but please let me let the book cool off a bit.
Exactly. They want to tear this book, my
The
God.
book is shaking already.
I didn't want to tear
I
the
mean,
book.
ow.
Well, we'll be looking forward to you doing that. So for anybody who's got a passion for dancing, who doesn't know what to do with it, how could you encourage them? What would you tell them that the benefits are, and how could they begin to perhaps look at the possibilities of using that passion to actually make money?
Okay, so, I mean, I've always been trying to get an opportunity to speak to dancers about this thing called dance, because at the end of the day, it's one thing for you to wake up in the morning and say, oh, I want to dance. And it's another thing for you to understand the business itself. So the business aspect of dance is different from dance itself, because if you don't know the business aspect, you just tend to dance and boom, that's it. What next? I mean, you have situations whereby big brands will call you, sit you down in a room and start asking you questions about your brand and what you do, what it entails. I mean, if you don't know these things, then there is nothing. So my biggest advice for dancers out there that are looking to grow and make this a big deal for them is to study the business aspect of dance. You will never go wrong in that aspect. And also, in as much as you're a dancer, doesn't mean you should stick to a particular style. You need to be versatile in everything you do. You need to explore everything because you don't know what it is that will take you to where you're going through. So that's just basically it.
Fantastic, Michael. Good to have you here. But we're
Thank
not
you
done
very
with
much.
you yet. Can
Okay.
you smell that seafood, natural seafood?
I was wondering where you guys have a kitchen here.
Oh, yeah, we do have a kitchen. It's a
that's
highlight.
nice.
So tell you what, while we're going to be showing some of your, well, excerpts on TV, I'm going to bring you over to the kitchen for a taste because we had it prepared just for you. Let's check out some of Michael's work.
Thank you.
Come on over. Very
I
interesting.
wonder if he can make something of my stiffness, like get me to dance like, I'm already moving. I see inspiration.
Like I said earlier, anybody can dance. It's just your time.
Wrong
But you know, I
place.
find it exciting that you do all these props yourself.
Oh,
The wings and then even some headgears. I saw it online as well.
you do?
Oh yeah, so I create costumes as well because at the end of the day, we don't have any store here in Lagos where you
Wow.
buy this costume. So I am like a diverse person. It's
Yes,
not
you're
just
more than
dance
just
for me.
dance.
Like you know, when you're talking to an Igbo man, you know, anything we say, we just
Put on my idea.
get
Let me
in.
take
Do
it.
you
from
hire
there.
them out?
So I hired him out as well.
That's
So
fantastic.
I
that's
don't just
another
make
business
tea
venture.
cape.
Wow.
It's just another venture. So aside that, so that's what we called it. Like I called it a production company where it's not just the dance, the costuming aspect of it, the lighting of the stage, and all of that all together.
Well, Mary, thank you very much for the SME segment extension, but let's get to the kitchen bits. Natural here is itching to tell about everything he's put together for you. So Natural here is our chef. He's a he's our friend. He's not a chef.
Nice to meet you.
Friend Natural,
Friend Natural.
family of the house here. And he's put this together. What's it called again? Tell him what it is,
This
please.
nature's seafood spaghetti on a classic.
Favorite.
Yeah. Please give it a try and tell us what you think. Hope you eat seafood. Are you good with seafood?
I do actually.
Oh, fantastic then. Please,
Okay.
Bon appetit. There's snails in there, but it's sea snails.
What do I want to go for?
Anything,
Okay, let me
you just
start
go for.
with-
Ooh, there we
Those
go.
are snails.
Yeah, there's snails in there.
Ah.
Snails.
I thought they were
You went straight for the
plantain
prawns.
cut up in
Prawns
a
first,
funny manner.
obviously.
Wow, interesting.
What's it taste like?
Dude, can't you see this part? Can't you see it? Look at the brownness
Okay.
now. Kilo man,
All right, maybe a verdict here. Verdict.
Wish me luck.
Good luck.
You're gonna like it, I'm sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
the
says it
chest
all. That says it all. Michael, thank you for coming through. Natural. Always fantastic having you here. Your energy is out of this world. Thank you to everybody who's been with us since
Yes.
starts since 7 a.m. Keep it with us all through the week up until Friday. It's going to be exciting every single morning because it's a no holiday week. Get back to work, but we'll support you throughout. We promise. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye,
Enjoy your
everybody.
day. Bye.